you, Apo, and SAFETY4SEA for having me here on this panel. Good morning, everyone, and again, welcome to the first session. Today we have a very interesting first panel here to discuss building a strong safety culture on board. Now, when we talk of safety culture on board, it is discussed or mostly associated with something that belongs to the ships. It's what the master and the crew do on board the ships, how they operate the ships when they are at sea or when they call ports. But in reality, the foundation of safety culture on board the vessels is actually laid ashore here with us. It is the tone, the priorities, the clarity with which we ashore communicate with our sea staff that determines how they will implement their work procedures on board. So today I will be focusing on one of the most decisive factors that improves shipboard safety culture, and that is the leadership that comes from ashore here in the office. And how these right behaviors and right signals from the shore teams can help us seafarers to act decisively, transparently, and safely. So why shore leadership matters? Well, safety culture on board mirrors the leadership ashore. The crew on board look to us for cues on what truly matters. If the shore team acts consistently, communicates consistently with the vessel, they will do the same. Shore decisions, whether they are operational, whether they are commercial or technical, they shape the environment with which the vessels need to operate. And when those decisions are aligned with safety, the crew feels supported. And when the crew feels supported, they are empowered to act safely and decisively. They report more openly without any fear of repercussions. They intervene earlier and make safety-driven decisions without any hesitation. This empowerment can only be created from the leadership ashore. Now let me share with you a moment in my sailing days, and this moment actually defined safety culture for me. I was a young master on a VLGC sailing into Chile. I just joined this big blue company on my first contract, and we were making fast at an open berth. After making fast in the afternoon, we commenced discharging, and later in the evening the weather picked up and the swell kept hitting the bow. We had our headlines and spring lines parting one after the other. So we called stations, crew was mustered, and people started, passing additional lines, trying to keep the vessel alongside. Very soon it was clear to me that things were getting out of control. So I did what every master does, picked up the phone and called the commercial operator ashore. After explaining the risk to him, I waited for his response. And now this was that moment where the response from shore could either push me to a dangerous compromise or help me act safely. The response I received was immediate, calm and decisive. "Captain," he said to me, "if it is unsafe, please cast off and proceed to the anchorage. Your primary responsibility is the safety of the personnel, the vessel and the environment. Let me handle the commercial part." That one statement removed all commercial pressure from me. It reinforced that the company gave priority to safety. It empowered me and my team to act without any fear of repercussion. This kind of leadership not only strengthens onboard safety culture, but that can also make or break the safety culture on board the ships. This moment has stayed with me forever. And why this moment matters is because it demonstrated clear power of decisive and supportive leadership from the shore side. At no time did he say, "Captain, can you manage? Can we try something?" He was clear. Let me handle the commercial part. You look after the safety of the vessel. And this is where crew feel confident to act when there are decisions from shore without any ambiguity and safety is prioritized. It clearly shows that when commercial pressure is removed from the vessel, the master and the crew can do what they do the best: protect vessels, protect people, and protect the environment. This is how safety culture is strengthened, not by procedures, not by checklist, but it all depends on how we act ashore as leaders when we interact with our vessel. How shore team empower the crew? Well, shore team have a lot of power when they come to dealing with the crew. Firstly, building psychological safety, like my colleague Alex highlighted. We need to create an environment on board where the crew feels safe to report issues, to raise concerns, and make safety-driven decisions. Do not snub them or criticize them when they raise small issues, because it demotivates them. Strengthen onboard leadership by recognizing proactive actions raised by the crew. Thirdly, encourage ownership and initiatives. Proactive recognition involving seafarers in our decision helps them feel supported. And when they feel supported, they want to act safely, not because they have to, but because they want to. What leadership commitment looks like? Sure. It's not only a philosophy. Leadership commitment is not only a philosophy, but it is visible in daily actions. How we support decisions without any hesitation. How we engage meaningfully with vessels. We provide timely resources and support when they ask for help. It is very important that we maintain a clear and stable communication with the crew. We listen actively, act on the feedback we receive, and communicate consistently. The crew on board observe our behavior, and when leadership ashore demonstrates integrity, the vessel will follow. These are some of the practical actions that we have implemented on the shore side, which helps us strengthen safety culture on board our vessels. We have regular engagement calls with the master, chief engineer, and the ship staff, during which safety-related matters are discussed. We encourage people to raise issues, provide solutions, or raise any concerns which are followed up immediately after the call. Simplification of procedures. Today, people are bogged down with the enormous numbers of checklists and documentation that they need to fill on board. It is very important to reduce this workload so that they can do what they do best: operate vessels safely. Human factors related trainings are being implemented not only ashore but also on board, so people can understand how humans react when they are faced with challenges or external pressures. Also, there are recognition programs in place to reinforce positive safety behaviors. And across all departments, whether it is marine, technical, operations, or commercial, we all try to communicate with the vessel in the same consistent manner, because inconsistency is one of the biggest threats to safety culture. When leadership ashore is strong, results are visible across the fleet. Trust increases and the crew feels supported rather than scrutinized. There is better reporting, not only in quantity but also quality, because people feel safe to speak up. Decision making becomes more confident and they are aligned with safety. Incidents reduce because there is early intervention on board. People are not afraid to act safely. The morale improves, retention rate increases, because people want to work in an environment where they feel valued and cared for. This is the real impact of leadership ashore. To close, my message is very simple. Safety culture on board begins ashore. The behaviors, decisions, and priorities that we as shore teams set for our vessels affect the entire fleet. When leadership ashore is clear, consistent, and supportive, the crew feel empowered to act safely. Trust becomes a foundation. Safety becomes a commitment and not only a compliance issue. This is how we build a safe, more resilient, safe culture on board. If we want safer ships, we must first be better leaders ashore because the vessels mirror us. Thank you.